All right, so I'm going to be doing something really interesting today. I'm going to be exposing my entire database collection, and I have a lot of surprises tuned in this video. So let's start off. So this is the starting of my list, and just to give you context, this list has more than 35 databases. I think I'm also revealing a lot of stuff. So starting from the top, Apollo, one of my favorite databases. To be honest, this is the first one I really use, and it's the best or cheapest for like contacts, basic searches. There is a cheaper version for this if you know how to scrape it. So, not saying you should or shouldn't do, but just to let you guys know. Also, like what you can't find from Apollo, like for contacts and stuff, Find Email, Prospeo, these work amazing through a Clay waterfall. Liskit.io, great for phone numbers, great for contacts to have like a backup database. So you should have both, right? Like you should have one major database which you pay a lot to, and then as backup databases. Ocean.io is the best lookalike companies. So one of the campaigns we always have for our clients is like when they log in, it's like, hey, let's make a lookalike of your best customers. The cheaper alternative to this is Panda Match. They're new in the game. I haven't used them yet, but something worth considering. Crunchbase, always the go-to for funding signals. Probably the best one to find like companies that have been recently funded or companies just like that are funded if you target a specific company. The trick to this is this can be scraped as well. PitchBook, amazing for revenue data. Probably the best one to be honest to find the private companies' revenue. They also have a lot of funding data. It's really expensive, but they have a trick to it to save money as well. Lead Magic. This one's by Jesse. It's been coming up a lot. Ad spend data, technographics, job information, even like a lot of other data. They've been getting a lot of that. Owler.com, one of the more expensive ones. You probably will not use it if you're just starting out, but they have really specific industry data. Again, Harmonic.ai, they have like super specific industry data as well. So if you have a higher budget, I would say like get away from like just Zoom Info, give like Owler, Harmonic a try. If you're like a lead gen agency which is just starting out, or if you're like a smaller company, it's not worth spending so much money on Owler and Harmonic. You probably want to go to like SalesNav or something like that. Unless Owler and Harmonic have changed pricing. So we haven't looked at those a lot. Technographics, this one's like obviously pretty basic, but if you want to target companies with a certain software built with, is like number one. This can be scraped as well. Predict Leads, number two. Then you have like Watrons, Netcraft, WooRank, these are all alternatives. So Predict Leads, they do something really cool. It's like, so built with like scrapes what the website extension and codes have. Predict Leads also checks job information. So that's something really cool. IP query, patent data. This one's fun. I've used this before. Golden Leads are LinkedIn scraping without cookies. So this is one of the more expensive LinkedIn scraping softwares out there. Then you get Sales Navigator. Sales Navigator has great industry information. It's great for just finding contacts as well. I would say it's the most recent data because a lot of other databases just scrape Sales Navigator. Then you have Store Leads, which is like e-commerce data, brandnav.io, again, e-commerce data, charm.io, e-commerce data. Honestly, if you just use Store Leads, you don't need anything else. This too can be scraped. Phantom Buster, Google Maps, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. You need to scrape, if you need to scrape any of those. Outscraper, one of my favorite ones I would say for Google Maps, because it's so direct and like so easy to use. If you want restaurant data, local businesses, anything that you're targeting, Outscraper is the thing to go. D7 Lead Finder. This one's very popular for local leads as well. And then there's a scrap.io, yelp.com. You can use those. Podseeker.co. So I would add like Rephonic as well. But these two have amazing podcast data. And like podcast, anything to do with like podcast cold emails, just slap. So something to consider. They work so well. Then what do you have? Scrappybird.com, tweetscraper.io. They've just been a part of my collection. I haven't used them a lot, I would say. But they scrape Twitter. Prospects.com is another great one for Instagram, Slack, and others. Then you have Definitive HC. This is healthcare data, but this is like really expensive. So you need to be a bigger healthcare focused company to be able to get that. What else do we have? Clutch.co, my favorite one for agencies. We've used this like a lot. Sortlist.com, agencyvista.com, just extras. Then we have PE and VC data. So Grata, SourceScrub, connect.visible.vc. If you want PE, VC data, these are the ones to scrape. So if you're raising funding or anything of that sort, look at those ones. That's kind of like the database collection overall. I would say like these are more than enough to get you everything. After that, if you really want, you Facebook and Google Ads, they have their own like ad library. I think Facebook does. I've never really used the one with Google Ads, but I've heard like Google Ad Library is also a thing. I've used Facebook one that can be scraped. That's like great information for data as well. These are the verification tools that I use which are ones I don't really know how much of a difference they make. I've just used one and never changed. Million Verifier, one of the cheapest ones. Lead Magic, one of the cheapest ones. Zero Bounce, this one's great. This has more of like an enterprise feel to it. Not sure which ones are better. Scrubby.io catch-alls. So the only legit one I've found for catch-alls is Scrubby.io. I know Lead Magic was coming up with one of them. I've never personally tested it. Well, scraping tools. So you have Python, Appify, Instant Data Scraper, and BrowserFlow.app for scraping in general. But there's a lot more to scraping than just these four. So in order to scrape something, since I've spoken so much about scraping, there are two ways. Either you know how to scrape it yourself or you find someone who does and who can scrape it for you. So if you guys are looking for scraping information, since it's a little gray hat, what I'm going to suggest is like reach out to me in the description below and I'll redirect you to the right person. So I don't do any scraping myself. We have like a developer on deck who builds scrapers for unique websites, which just helps. Like, and then we have like resources to scrape practically any of the softwares that I mentioned. So yeah, if you guys need any help with scraping, hopefully this was helpful. Just let me know, and I'll be happy to redirect you to the right person. Talk soon.